Hello, good evening, and welcome to a brand new game, which I have a lack of knowledge about in several different aspects. So this is going to be very interesting. My knowledge of Warhammer 40k lore is not great. Hopefully this will not be a problem. But I am going to be playing Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader on Sundays until either I'm done with the game or it's done with me, whichever one happens. We're going to hope that it's the first one and not the second. But yeah, so I have actually gone in here and figured out like character creation and that sort of thing. So we are not going to be spending the first hour and a half of the stream trying to figure out character customizations and stuff like that. So yay! I have not gone any further than that though. So rest assured, I still have no idea what I'm doing. So here we are on the marvelous the absolutely marvelous cover page menu screen here. Did I miss the end of PG3? Fiddlesticks. Yeah, that was last week, Sierra Lad. Good news, it's up on my YouTube channel, which is linked just a little bit further up there. So you can still watch it, but you can't kibitz. Sorry. No, we're starting a new game. We're going sci-fi now. Speaking of kibitz, if I choose to, woman. Well, you can kibitz here, as long as you stay within the no spoilers and no backseating tags, of course. Okay, so I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I own all of the DLC because I keep getting the season passes. So we're loading into the first playthrough with all of the DLC. Is this a good plan? I don't know. It might be. It might not be. Who knows? I've never even heard of this game, so you're safe. Well, have you at least heard of Warhammer 40k? Okay, and difficulty, yeah, we're gonna go with normal difficulty. Normal difficulty is fine. Green, hello! Welcome back. It's Warhamster, that explains all the things. Yeah, the music is very suitably dramatic. I do like it. So, yeah, there's several different settings. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to go with normal instead of story mode. We will not be playing on daring, hard, or unfair, and we certainly will not be turning on the grim darkness mode. Okay, so there are some pre-built characters. I will not be using any of them, but there is Hekata, who is a soldier. There's Darius, who is an operative. There's Lamont, who is a warrior of some sort, and there's Barharder, who is an officer, and I won't be using any of them. We'll be making a custom character because if I'm gonna break things, I'm gonna break things on my own terms. That's how we're going. So this is where I have taken extensive notes. We're going to be skipping past the portrait just for the moment. We are going femme today. Now, let's see. Notes say face 11. So, face 11. There she be. Doesn't look so good from that angle. Let's go over here again. And I chose body 3. We will not be discussing further. And hair. This one. And let's see. This one. And tattoos. Okay, let's see here. Second row, second from right. And the color I chose for that one was this. So that is how that is looking. And then tattoo number 2. 1, 2, third from right. And that one is looking like that. I just liked it. And the color I chose for that one, 1, 2, 3, 4. These colors end up a lot darker on the skin than they look on the picker. And for some reason, having these be slightly different shades from each other just felt right. Okay, on to augmentations. So the first one I chose was this one. Which gives a little metal plate over here on the side of the scar. And the second one, let's see, second from bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a little dot that ended up being right at the top of the scar, and I just think that looks good.
Macro cannons!
And yeah, the voice, there are many voices, but I chose the pragmatic female.
Let's get the job done.
It just seemed right. Okay, now we go back to the portrait. Now, unfortunately, there isn't anything here that actually matches what I made. Alas, woe, suffering. So I decided to go with this one, and we can just pretend that this is like a past portrait of her. From long ago and far away, or something. She's probably never going to look like this. But that's the way these things go sometimes. Okay, moving onwards. Now this one, I went backwards and forwards and sideways. I basically chose my origin before I chose my homeworld, and such basically, I didn't do this in order originally, but I have it in order now. So there are several homeworlds to choose from. There's the Death World. On Death Worlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself take aggressive and destructive forms inimical to human life. Whilst exceptionally difficult to colonize, many Death Worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence upon the planet's surface to harvest. There are not enough commas. These harsh environments result in some of the hardiest and most resilient populations in the galaxy. Those tested and found wanting die young. Then there's the Voidborn worlds. Voidborn are humans birthed in the belly of a void vessel or aboard an ancient orbital satellite. Those who have lived their lives on void ships become inured to some extent due to the reality-altering process of warp travel and to living in low or zero-gravity environments. In many cases, their features are drawn and their skin pallid. They may even have minor deformities or strangeness to their speech, gait, or general appearance that sets them apart from others. Hive worlds. A hive world's population is so dense that great swaths of the surface of the world are frequently covered in gargantuan cities bejeweled with towering spires that pierce the atmosphere. Hive worlds are vital to the welfare of the Imperium and are the beating heart of its economy and war machine. They produce munitions for the Emperor's armies in vast manufactories, mine valuable minerals, and refine fuel for the Imperial Navy. Innumerable regiments of the Astra Militarum are raised from their massive populations as well. Forge worlds. Forge worlds are the domain of the Adeptus Mechanicus, entire planets ceded to the demands of vast macro industries. Each is a manufacturing super complex of an unimaginable capacity and power. Over the millennia, different forge worlds have become especially renowned for their philosophies or ways of war. These are often colored by the technologies they specialize in manufacturing. The bulk of a forge world's population is utilized as a labor force, whilst the fortunate few may be inducted into the ranks of the Adeptus Mechanicus itself. Imperial worlds. An imperial world is one of a million planets united by the belief in the immortal God Emperor. Hailing from hyper-technological societies to grimy feudal populations, the inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the master of humanity and the imperial creed espoused by his servants. The designation Imperial World encompasses a vast array of wholly dissimilar worlds that are nevertheless part of the Imperium. And last of all, Fortress Worlds. Fortress worlds are planets where the entire populace is immersed in warfare. They constantly train for the day that they may be called upon to defend the Imperium, a charge they solemnly uphold. Fortress worlds are established as bulwarks against the enemy. Every citizen is a soldier, trained to fight from the moment they can handle a weapon. Each of these, as you may notice, offer their own bonuses and setbacks and all of these things, which is why I went and chose my origin before I chose my homeworld, because I wanted a homeworld that supported my choice. That being said, I chose Voidborn, which gives me extra willpower and extra intelligence, but gives me a bit of a negative modifier on strength. Okay, and then origins are basically the classes that are available in the game. I'm not sure why they're called origin, but that's Warhammer's choice. I will not be reading all of these, the flavor text for all of these like I did for the worlds. There's just a few too many, and I already made my decision. But the possibilities are the Astra Militarum Commander, the Commissar, the Crime Lord, the Ministorum Priest, the Navy Officer, the Noble, the Sanctioned Psyker, or the Arbitrator. I know that Arbitrator's a little cut off at the bottom there, but I guarantee that is the last one on the list. I checked. That being said, what I chose to go with was Crime Lord. The Imperium survives and prospers in no small part due to the narrowness of its vision, but a rebellious mind and will such as yours could not be so easily constrained. The dark paths of smugglers and renegades that wind behind the facade of the Imperium society offer a dangerous refuge for those unwilling to bow to the law. You used to be one of these dangerous yet resourceful individuals, before I, embarked upon this whole rogue trader thing. So this gives me access to an ability called Surefire Plan, which apparently just keeps proccing itself in circles. Gives me weapon skill, perception, awareness, logic. Gives me modifiers to my perception and my awareness, and gives me access to these bunch of talents, which seem to be skills that I can use in combat. But yeah, which class you choose changes what happens next along here. Basically, everything between Origin and Void Ship is affected by whichever one of these that you choose. So we can't see what the other classes would be getting at this point because I, chose. So, for a Crime Lord, you have to choose what your triumph was before you changed careers. So, this one, the choices are Apex of Brilliance. You managed to corrupt an entire star system and turn it into your personal den of thieves, which gives extra logic. Illustrious Glory, which is you stripped an ecclesiarchief cardinal of a priceless treasure that has been kept in one of the most secure sanctums of the Adeptus Ministorum, which gives extra lore about the Imperium. Or Feat of Greatness. You prevailed in a bloody shadow war against void pirates of your sector, which gives a bonus to logic. Now, I chose the Feat of Greatness because I like the idea of being queen of the space pirates, honestly. That was the entire reason I made the choice. That is, yeah. Darkest Hour. The worst thing that has happened to me so far. The Crime Lord gets 3 choices on this one. Grim Portents. An inauspicious deal with the wrong people resulted in the rise of a chaos cult and the horrific massacre of innocents. This would give me a minus modifier to persuasion. Shadow of Torment. You were arrested and thoroughly interrogated using creative and violent methods. This gives a negative to carouse, which apparently is represents the ability to resist negative effects applied by poisons, stimulators, or alcohol, and may give access to new dialogue options. And there's also Brand of Shame. You turned your partners into the authorities and became known as a traitor. This reduces your commerce. I definitely did not go with this one because if I'm playing as a rogue traitor, I think I actually want my commerce to be fairly high. So I chose the Shadow of Torment, and hopefully I have not hamstrung myself with the inability or lesser ability to resist poisons or getting drugged. Okay, now archetypes, I didn't quite I don't entirely understand archetypes. I mean, there's the description over here. Archetypes are development paths that your characters follow. Each archetype encapsulates a unique set of skills and expertise and represents a specific combat specialization, from the frontline warrior to the indispensable leader preferring to command from the rear. Choose who you want to be in the grim, dark future of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Now, the thing that annoyed me is that I cannot actually look at any of these. Like, I can't see what any of these do. I can only make guesses based on their names. That mildly annoys me. I kind of prefer to be able to I like to choose an entire trail. Like, they're showing me the whole trail, but I can't choose. Like, I can't see what any of these are. I don't, like, this icon doesn't work. It's fairly annoying. But in any case, I chose the archetype of Operative, partially because it led to things that at least have interesting names. And also, because it sort of ties in with the Crime Lord thing here. The Crime Lord has intelligence, things that proc off of intelligence, and an operative uses intelligence and perception to find and exploit weaknesses in an enemy's defenses. None can withstand an attack from an operative. Core focus, precise single attacks, defense penetration, area debuffs, and consistent firing position. I like the consistent firing position idea. But I think that this will, that the various things that the operative does will work fairly well with the abilities and things of the Crime Lord. So that is the line of logic that I used in making my decision, as well as the fact that operative does have quite a few things that it can evolve into at a level 16. So hopefully one of these assassin, bounty hunter, grand strategist, executioner, or overseer will be exactly what I want out of life. We hope. Okay, and here is where I really don't know what I'm doing. So we are being asked to assign 35 skill points to the various stats. These various stats affect these skills, so these are the numbers that one gets in the particular skills. And all this, I am not going to be reading all of the text, or else we are in fact going to be here as long as it took me to decide on my look back when I was doing it. But this thing assigns stuff 5 points at a time. So yeah, I decided to bring my ballistic skill up to 35, as well as my toughness. My intelligence being basically my primary stat as a crime lord, I decided to bring that up to 45. My perception being apparently my secondary stat, I brought up to 40. My willpower I raised to... Whoop. Okay, I don't know why that... Why did I list that? Okay, and my fellowship got raised to 35 as well. One hopes that I have made good decisions, but I don't know because I don't know Warhammer well enough. Moving along. So, because of the DLC that I own, I have access to 2 possible ships. The Sword class frigate is the default ship. It's the one that you get with the game. Because I have DLC, I also have access to the Firestorm class frigate. I'm probably going to take the Firestorm class simply because it's Firestorm, but basically here, the Sword class frigate is a classic void ship design proven in thousands of battles, combining decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. Estimated dimensions, 1.6 kilometers, blah 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 blah. The Von Velinicus flagship is the mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Velinicus dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Its plasma drives are rugged yet reliable in extreme conditions. The flagship's size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders and for hunting the countless pirates, Xenos, and heretics in the Coronis Expanse. Blech. Numerous Von Velinicus rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel, and with a few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the Von Velinicus dynasty. And then there's the Firestorm class. The Firestorm class frigate is a modification of the Sword class, designed to deliver fire strikes against larger enemy ships, not shying away from engagements with a superior opponent. Estimated dimensions, skimming past. The Von Velinicus flagship is mightiest void ship Okay, this is the same text as the other ship. So the difference between these is that this one deliver fire strikes against larger enemy ships, not shying away from engagements with a superior opponent, versus decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. Actually, are these the same? Yeah, this text down here is the same between the 2 ships. So, apparently this one provides some wumpa against larger opponents, whereas this one is a dodgier ship. How in your face am I feeling for this playthrough? Is a very good question that I've asked myself. When I was making the character decisions, I didn't actually have access to the 2 ships yet, so I hadn't actually considered this question. I had not gotten the I had all of the story DLC, but I didn't have the deluxe edition. I fixed that problem. I mean, this one looks a little bit more like a gun. I don't know which one to pick. You know what? Let's go with the Firestorm class. Why not? What's your prey likely to be? I have no idea, Green. I haven't got a clue. I mean, like this one appears to be like the ship is dodgy. Like it's able to decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. So it can take a hit or two, but it can also run fast. This one, the only thing it really mentions is, hey, it can bring the boom. So it is, it's a tricky choice. Especially since I honestly have no idea what I'm going to be facing, so... Oh wow, we can generate names. So again, you're a crime lord. Would you like to be hunting smugglers or battleships? Excellent question. Let's go with the default ship. I don't know about calling it Calamity's Promise. Mercy of the... No, that's not me. Fear of the Faithless? Foxwing? That's the problem, though, is that, like, my character's name is still going to be Foxwine, and I don't really want Foxwine to be piloting the Foxwing. That gets a little mush mouth, is what that gets. Worked for Batman. Yeah, I'm not Batman. I will never be Batman. I'm not sure I'd want to be Batman. Call it the Righteous Indignation. Actually, now that one I do like, actually. That one I do like. Now, if I can just manage to spell it. I can say righteous every day. I can spell righteous some of the time. There we go. Okay. And I am definitely not going to be named Lavinia. No way. There we go. Much better. Okay, so these are the end results. Totally, honestly, completely, 100% not the name of the ship from Bucky O'Hare. Okay. I'm fine with stealing it. It's a good name. Okay, so my carouse is in a scary place because, you know, I was tortured and stuff. Maybe that's why I have the metal plate going on. But yeah, it's my logic is through the roof, apparently. Man, look at that 55. There's nothing else higher than 45, but the logic. Oh, I have so much logic. My next suggestion was aluminum mallard, so good job. I would not take aluminum mallard. A fox piloting a mallard? Ugh. Ugh. Blech. Alright. So, these are the choices I have made. May they not cause me to fall on my face. Here we go. Loading, loading, loading. Come on. 93%, 94%, 95%. Oh, what is it loading? Press any key. Okay. Hello, cutscene. Oh, hello, sudden sense of scale. Hi, how are ya? Okay, we're going for very large architecture here, I see. Okay.
An excellent place for contemplation.
Oh, it's voiced.
One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
Okay, the man who has approached you is gazing down into the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. This is inside my ship! It did say your ship was 1.8 kilometers long and 0.3 kilometers wide, right? Yeah, this is a lot of air. I'm not going to think about the psi in this sci-fi very much at this point because this is a lot of space that needs to be filled with air. Alright, so tutorial says choice in dialogues. You're in a dialogue. Here you can learn more about current events, influence the character you are speaking to, or even alter the course of the game's narrative. Your character's personal story depends on the dialogue choices you make. Available dialogue options are displayed on the right. Select a reply by clicking on it or pressing the corresponding digit. Okay, got it. Alright, so my possible responses to, what does this say? Kunrad Vuktvir. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be cringing throughout my play of this game. It's going to be a lot of possibly Slavic people who are going to be cringing. I'm reasonably certain of my Latin pronunciation, but the more consonants that aren't an H next to a T we have, the further into this hole I'm going to dig myself. Alright, truly an awe-inspiring sight. Frankly, such excess can be tiring at times. All this ostentatious luxury, this laughable pretense, it is enough to make one think that the architects meant to compensate rather than glorify. Have we met? Or do you have a particular reason for disturbing me? I may I don't know who I am. Oh, this is something I had not contemplated. Oh dear. Oh, the music has even stopped while I'm thinking. Oh no, it's gone so quiet in the background. Oh no. Okay, the music's coming back. The music's coming back. Okay, I'm not so alone anymore. Hmm. While I'm thinking, this looks hoverable. It is! Ahaha! The Emperor of Mankind, the guide, the ruler, and the higher power to which humanity offers their prayers for aid and deliverance. Most would be driven mad with despair if they knew the truth. Press left click to expand. Oh, I see. Let's not pursue that particular rabbit hole right at the moment. I'm gonna go with truly an awe-inspiring sight and not the how are we affording all the air for this.
That is the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence. For it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with the chance to give their very life for the master of humanity.
Okay, I do not like this particular style of voiced games where the actions are just completely elided. It's very annoying, especially when there's an action before and an action after. Doesn't make me happy. But yes, apparently the man nods in satisfaction as if your words had confirmed some thought he had beforehand, and then afterwards he sighs and turns to me.
Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencius. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Voigtveer bows his head and focuses his attention on you. Are you calling me short? Okay, moving along from that, you can hover your cursor over highlighted words to learn more about them. The tooltips that appear can help you better understand the world of the game or its mechanics. Words are highlighted when they first appear in a text. Scroll up the dialog box to see the desired highlighted term again. Good to know that I can do that. Can I? Yes, I can. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, Her Ladyship Rogue Trader. A subject of the Imperium with a unique hereditary title, a rogue trader is tasked with exploring and exploiting the still uncharted regions of the galaxy for the benefit of mankind. That doesn't sound like trading, does it? Interesting. My name is Foxwine. Foxwine Stubbs. My name is rather well known in certain circles in the Galaxis sector. I have no intention of introducing myself. Let's see. What sort of level of person do I want to be here? I do not like the last name that the game has saddled me with here. I dislike it immensely. I mean, nobody ever gets to pick their last name, so to speak, but good lord. I have every belief that he knows exactly who I am. I'm not gonna plump my own ego. My name is Foxwine.
My regards, mistress. Or should I say, von Valencius, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you, understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of a ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty.
Oh, goody! I'm a lost heir! This is spectacular. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong with this. Lord Captain, a strange title for the Lady Theodora. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here? He just answered that question. You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities? Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself. You say I'm one of the rogue trader's heirs, so there is another candidate? I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it. Imperium. Imperium of Man. The galaxy-spanning interstellar human empire ruled by the living god who is known as the Emperor of Mankind. Yep, okay. I mean, I'm curious about several of these. Like the asking about what the Master of Whispers does. I'm hoping that means Spy Master, but I've been wrong before. It would be good if it was Spy Master. Asking about other asking about other heir candidates. Of course, asking what the heck he's talking to me for. Oh, it's so difficult to choose. You have a curious title. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Hooray! Master of Whispers is indeed the Spy Master. Oh, thank goodness I read that correctly. I never know whether to take anything in Warhammer 40k at face value, so I was hoping it would be that simple, but no guarantees. You say I'm one of the heirs, so there's another candidate.
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
Oh, yeah, okay. He shrugged slightly before that one. Let's see. Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
I wasn't planning on being disrespectful, but I don't set aside the possibility of being accidentally obtuse. I'm good at that. Alright, Warrant of Trade. The sacred relic document that affirms the preeminent rights of a rogue trader throughout the galaxy. Oh, okay. Okay, so we're going on that model. Ha! We're Corsairs! Excuse me. Alright, why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here?
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, You have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor.
Ah. I get the feeling that she considers the other heir to be unsuitable and is desperately searching for somebody better. Either that or she thinks competition is healthy. Hard to say.
Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium. But from now on, a different fate awaits you. One chosen for you by the Lord Captain. I advise you to come to terms with this reality as quickly as possible.
Should I just start calling her my aunt now? I'm sure there's probably some greats in between, but aunt probably is better than anything else. You know, unless everything's being completely fabricated and I'm just here to make the actual heir try harder. Also a possibility. I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it instead of dancing around it anymore.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora.
Ah.
I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far.
Is she too high class to use communications systems? Is that what I'm hearing?
The Lord Captain and Master Ethelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Ethelthrad. Ethelthrad. What the... Ethelthrad! Okay. To the observation platform, I guess. By the right of blood, rogue trader Theodora von Valencius desires to personally meet with the person... Oh. Follow Kunrad. Yeah. Are you gonna stop flickering things at me so that I can actually read them? Yes? No? Maybe? Oh boy, that portrait's gonna be staring at me the entire run, isn't it? Camera controls. Change your point of view. Move the camera using listed or by using the arrow keys. Absolutely not. That hand is for my mouse. Rotate the camera using Q or E or the mouse wheel. Got it. I don't know what that other one was that it flickered at me, but I'm just gonna assume that click to move is gonna be fine. What have I got here? Stuff on the function keys. I've got a revolver. I approve. 6 ammo. Ooh, nice range. And a reload. Using this ability provokes attacks of opportunity from adjacent enemies. Good to know. That's the surefire plan that just keeps rotating. I should probably read that for the benefit of things. At the start of combat, the Crime Lord gains +4 stacks of the surefire plan effect. Activation of this ability consumes 1 stack and makes the next action stronger depending on the type of action. If the Crime Lord attacks, they deal +14% more damage. If the Crime Lord moves, they gain +14% dodge and parry until the start of the next turn. If the Crime Lord uses a non-damaging ability on an enemy, that enemy suffers a -14% penalty to damage for 1 round. Can be used multiple times per turn. I could expand this, but I won't. And what do we have here? Analyze enemies. 1 enemy creature, unlimited range. The operative targets 1 enemy within line of sight. That target immediately gains +3 exploits. I understand all of this except for this. Exploits. If the operative hits a target with an exploit stack, the attack deals plus 5 times perception bonus % more damage. The damage is also increased by 10% for each exploit on the target. The attack removes all exploits from the target. Ah, I see. Okay, so you use Analyze, they get exploits, then you shoot at them, which does extra damage and consumes the exploits. Retransmission can be used through the familiar. That's right! There's the possibility that I can get a familiar in this game. I'm not going to be pressing every single button to find out what they do. We're going to work through it as necessity comes up. Although... Okay, let's play the hover game. Inventory, character, journal. There we go. There's the text that it wouldn't let me read. Rogue trader Theodora von Valentius desires to meet personally with the person recently brought aboard her flagship. A storm is brewing over the dynasty, so the Lord Captain has something important to share with her heir, if she ever gets the chance. Follow Conrad. Conrad Voigtvier, the Master of Whispers serving the von Valentius dynasty, has graciously offered to escort the dynasty's heir to Lord Captain Theodora. Thank you. Oh! Oh! Oh, time runs. Oh, time runs in this game. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Interactable objects. Some objects in the game can be interacted with in a special way. They are marked with specific icons. Some icons allow you to study objects, others will transfer the character to neighboring locations or launch a small event. These icons become visible when your character is standing close enough to the interactive object. Click on the icon to perform the associated action. Some interactive objects, such as doors or chests, are not always marked with icons, but the cursor changes when you hover over them. Hover your cursor over the object. If the cursor changes, the object is interactable. Okay. Hold Tab to highlight objects your character can interact with. Tabby. Ooh. Show data on vid screen. Show data on vid screen. Got it. This, going by the icon, this opens dialogue. A massive conference table, obviously crafted from real wood, a resource of incredible value. This is not my ship, basically. You know what would be really nice? Having a mini-map with a marker pointing the direction that I'm supposedly going. Like, wouldn't it be nice to have a marker showing me the direction that my quest is in? Noble guest. Okay, there he is.
Let us not dawdle.
I'm assuming... door.
One of the Von Valentius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
I mean, can I have it all? I particularly like the look of that tank.
What's happening?
Oh, combat tutorial.
The servitors have gone berserk!
You have been ambushed. The battle begins. To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you will have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Click on the button at the top of the screen to start the battle. Okay. Foxwine, shoot! Shoot and don't let it get close! Okay, that's good advice. Okay. Definitely don't want to let it get close. Okay, so turn order is on the side. All battles in the game are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select a cell within the highlighted area and double-click on it to move a character there. Movement points determine how far a character can move on their turn. One movement point corresponds to one cell on the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell uses 2 MP. At the beginning of each turn, movement points are restored to their maximum value. Note that once a character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. Okay, so we went over... He's out of range. So I do need to move forward to bring him into range. How far forward do I need to move to bring him into range? 1, 2, 3. I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I need to move forward 4. 1, 2, 3. That feels awfully close. But I think I'm reading it correctly, that this is... Where are my movement points listed? Oh, there. Oh, I can move 4. No, wait, 6. I can move 6. Okay, so... To make attacks and use abilities in combat, a character must spend action points, or AP. Their total is displayed on the panel at the bottom of the screen. Every attack or ability has a certain AP cost associated with it. The number of squares next to the icons of attack actions and other abilities indicate their AP cost. At the start of each character's turn, their AP are restored to their maximum value. Okay. To attack, first click on the single shot icon on the weapons panel at the bottom of the screen. Hover the cursor over an enemy. A tooltip will appear showing your chances of hitting that enemy and the possible damage you can deal on a successful hit. Click on the enemy to fire. The amount of damage your characters deal depends on the parameters of the weapon they're using. The effectiveness of the shot depends on the distance between the character and their enemy. When you target an enemy with a single shot, you will see 2 areas denoting the weapon's effective and maximum firing ranges. Certain abilities in the game are considered attack actions and can only be used once per turn unless affected by specific talents or other abilities a character might have. If a character performs an attack action, they will not be able to attack again and will use their remaining movement points until the start of their next turn. Okay, so... Analyzing costs 1 AP. Shooting costs 1 AP. If I shoot, I won't be able to move anymore. Interesting. Okay. So if I do this...
On it.
And then this.
It's as good as done.
Okay. When you're ready to end your turns, press space or click the end turn button on the bottom right of the screen. Okay, I'm working on figuring this out. Don't mind me. Can I shoot again? No? Single shot. Okay. You shoot like stormtroopers! How dare you! What did you just do? Hold on a moment. Joint analysis. Until the operative's next turn, their allies' attacks also remove exploits and deal +1 more damage. Ooh, we're not so dissimilar, you and I. I don't know why, but that feels bad. How far can I back up? Could I back up to here and still hit? I'm not sure. Let's go here just to be safe. One of these. Nice, nice. Would it be nice to be able to save some crew members? Okay, if I'm reading this correctly, this thing has 5 hit points left. You know, just in case, I'm gonna back up behind Conrad. I think I can get away with that. Oh, I can only back up by 1. Oh, that's good to know. I'm still gonna do that. Analyze them. Take the shot. Can scarcely believe it on a day like this.
Suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
Okay, without taking his eyes off the bodies on the floor, Voigtveer removes the Vox caster from his belt and speaks a few quick orders into the device. Then he turns to you. Vox caster. Radio? Piece of technology used to communicate over short distances or to record sound. Yep, communicator. Alright. Can I loot the bodies now? Spread out. No one is allowed to enter the premises. Stations.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
This is a room. Which corridor? The Master of Whispers gives you a curt bow. Thanks for nothing. Actually, he was giving me an extra point of damage, so maybe I shouldn't say that. You can open the map using M to orient yourself. I'm assuming this is the corridor that he means. Whoop, what the? What the? What the? I don't understand. Oh, that was my camera. Please work. Oh no. Okay, click on the character portrait. Can I loot them bodies? Why are the bodies not lootable? That seems unfair. The wires in the servitor's head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction was the short-circuiting of the motive force. Okay. Tarantula sentry gun, constructed with the blessings of the Adeptus Mechanicus, using a standard template. Why does it disappear so fast? Using a standard template construct in the manufacture rooms of Kiava Gamma. Alright. I would like to loot the bodies, but I can't. The Mon Rus battle tank, reclaimed and restored by the grace of the God Emperor, the first to breach the capital walls during the pacification of Vortis Shan. Chitin? Chitin! What are you guys doing? You're just like petting the corpse. What the heck? I'll see you if I see you raise your head again, I'll hand you over to the tech priest for servicization. Okay. Good corpse, nice corpse. Does corpsey want a treaty? I mean, look at them. They're just sort of. Actually, let's not look at what they're petting now that I have taken a better look. I really hope that this is the way that I was supposed to go. Just recovering the cyberware, I guess. Maybe? Oh, what a lovely tripping hazard. I'm lost and I don't know where I'm going. I was like, that one has a skirt. Maybe it. No, that's a tech priest. Jocasta Sauerback. Okay, we have somebody with a name. Maybe this is the right direction. Well, either it's the way to go, or you get to reload your game and go to a more different way. Like going north from Good Springs and Fallout New Vegas. Does your journal allow me to track quests? No. I'm supposed to go to the officer's deck, but I'm not actually being told where the officer's deck is. There's Death Claws to the north. They think you are very crunchy and taste good with BBQ sauce. The Death Claws stop to put BBQ sauce on you? I'm gonna follow the carpet in the hopes that the carpet is the correct direction. Jocasta. Hello? No initiative, no independent thought, only omnibus commandments and adhere to protocols. Oh, Jocasta seems nice.
Is there money to be made?
Was that me? Okay, I can't go that way, so...
Keep your wits about you.
That is also blockaded. I'm only slightly lost. Oh, wait. I went the wrong way, but I found the right one.
Irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
You're lost? Have you tried Hare Krishna? I'm pretty sure that's heresy in this universe. Also, let's take a moment here to admire Lady Theodora, because I think that's her on the right. Yes, that is. Oh boy. That is a power stance if I have ever seen one. Alright, let's see here. Ethelthred, simply irrational Lady Theodora, says the man dressed in peculiar garb, his voice tight with tension. His face, half of which is covered by thin skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Okay, let's, that's got the circle around it, so I'm going to assume that is Ethelthred right there. Ethelthred, why didn't your parents love you? Why would they give you that name? And going by her portrait, I'm going to assume that this is Theodora right here. She is magnificent. Let's just zoom in a little touch here. Maybe that'll help.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Ethelthred?
Oh goody, dropped in the middle of a situation nobody's explained. I love it when games do this to me. Tall, gray-haired woman pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Okay, so here's where I have a moment. Survey the room. I'm here to speak with the Lord Captain. Listen in silence. The fact is that I ran all the way around this group in order to stand over here. So both of them have seen me. And these two have seen me as well if they have any brain cells. I'm gonna listen and see if I can learn me something.
While you are considering your answer, Ethelthred, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear something more interesting than incoherent mumbling. Approach.
Oh, she's nodding at me. Yeah, I was right when I knew she noticed me.
What is this? Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion?
I have said nothing. I walked up and I waited in silence to be acknowledged. Your parents never loved you, Ethelthred. Ethelthred turns to you and regards you with indignation. That's my ship! Oh, sure, tell him who I am. Get me knifed right here in front of you, Theodora.
I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. This is the second candidate for the title of my successor. Step forward.
Theodora tilts her head, her lips stretch into a cold smile. The rogue trader regards you with a look that is imperious, predatory, and oppressive. I think Lord Captain is the perfect title for her. I'm about as forward as I can get, but okay.
Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity,
Oh
regular
boy.
magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Huh. Okay, so they worship underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices, and the mining crews have been disappearing. Which leads me to believe that there is something under the surface of that planet. Something hungry. Okay, passive skill tests. Your character's skills reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogues automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, new information will be revealed or a hidden dialogue option will unlock. If your character is traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill is selected for each given passive skill test. Oh, so I'm not just writing my own merits. Alright, I just need to find a crew member with really high carouse skill, and that'll take care of the dialogue options, although it will not take care of my personal drug problems. Okay. Okay, lore Xenos succeeded. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case, and if the population of Ion 6 engages in Xeno worship. Lore Warp succeeded. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Ion 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. Okay, and then, if my particular life experiences are any indication, some of the natives would eagerly betray their chieftains in exchange for a quiet life serving on board my ship. I would then leave dealing with Ion 6 to those who know it best. These reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would put my interests first. No matter what means I would have to use, the riches of Ion 6 would be mine. Ion 6 must be purged. For the good of the Imperium, I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs and otherworldly powers that rule the native apostates. Or I do not know? That last answer is definitely poison. We will be avoiding that one. I'm thinking one of these two lore ones, but which one? I mean, I immediately jumped to Xenos. That was me, personally, which makes me lean towards the first one, simply because that was my first thought. Yeah, you know what? Because that was my first thought, and I don't actually know who my character is, besides, wanting her to be queen of the pirates. Let's go with the Xenos. Spirits could well be the names for dangerous aliens, ones that have a taste for flesh.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
That's what you've got a Master of Whispers for, isn't it?
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
I'm beginning to understand why Theodora went to the considerable expense and difficulty of tracking me down. as a possible heir. I understand why she doesn't like this one. I've heard him say 3 things, and I already understand. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Ethelthrad. We are both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? Excuse? I find your tone most disagreeable, Ethelthrad. You will kindly alter the manner in which you address me, or else you will live to regret the consequences. Or, shut your mouth, Ethelthrad, before I decide to shut it for you. Now, number 2 is dangerously naive, because what does nobility have but petty feuds? Like, really, they have no other hobbies. Amassing more power and having petty feuds with each other over who is amassing more power, that's pretty much all they've got. You know what? I wish to smack him across the mouth. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Ethelthrad.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
The color drains from Ethelthred's face, which distorts his features further. Oh, successful smacking across the mouth. I do like doing that.
Ethelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officers' deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
Oh, double smackdown! Ha ha ha!
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
Ethelthrad bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look. Oh, is the poor whipped puppy gonna slink away?
So, why are you here?
You asked to see me. Also, what is with this viewpoint? Like, the rotating thing is nice and all, but aren't the characters the important part? Can I just sort of... Okay, that's as far in as I can zoom. That is unfortunate. Was it not you who sent for me? There are questions that I wish to have answered. I do not know just yet. I hope you will clarify that. I'm gonna go with the last one, because it seems like the most respectful answer out of the 3. I hope you will clarify, because I don't know yet.
Clarity. A luxury that few of us can afford. There is a reason why I did not explain all the details of the question I posed to you earlier. Beyond the borders of the Imperium, seldom is one granted an opportunity to enjoy information in abundance. This, however, is one such opportunity.
Oh, okay. Illuminate.
My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
Okay. These are all things I've already hovered, so I will not be hovering them now. But I liked that speech, and I liked the way that speech was delivered.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with Fon Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
Okay. I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose. It's all too sudden for me. One of, does this mean there are other heirs? I mean, is she going to appreciate it if we lie to her face? You know, that was a really good speech. I'm ready to fall in line. I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose. We're lying to her face.
You would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader.
Okay. This is where we open the floor for me to offer to perform something for you, isn't it?
Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally.
If you marry me to that idiot, I will not
even
forgive
those
you.
Responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
One of, does this mean that there are other heirs? Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you? Or thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now? Let's go with the other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
I don't know. He seemed a little... If you are satisfied with Edelthrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me? Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you? Or thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now? I have a feeling that I know what the answer to the second question is, and that is, if he's not challenged, then we don't know if he's up to a challenge. And that's possibly all I'm here for. I intend to take his place as number one in Theodora's eyes, but... I suspect that I know her answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. Why are you wasting your time on me if you're satisfied with him?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrat as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse.
Oh, yes, I know how to talk to a particular kind of person.
One could not in good faith describe your background as one of exemplary service to the Imperium. However, I am intrigued by you and your past. To have survived and prospered between the letters of the law is a rare achievement among those in our circle. You are skilled in the art of taking risks and cutting corners. Trust me when I say that you will have sufficient opportunity to apply this talent for the good of the house.
Oh, I like them odds.
Moreover, your courage has made you far more famous than you yourself probably realize. True feats of heroism will forever live on in the annals of the Imperium and bring honor to the von Valancius line.
So, about that me being the queen of the pirates thing. Word of your great past deeds has traveled the entire Cronus Expanse and far beyond. I'm well known. The Master of Whispers is related to you? Did I hear you correctly?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voigtvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Oh dear, what did he what happened? How, like, what Okay, well, he's the spy master, which means he missed something. And that something came to bite someone else in the ass. That's yeah. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now, even though I've asked them? Ah!
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
The vox affixed to Theodora's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodora winces, shuts off the transmission, and gives you an imperious nod. Huh. Navigator? Sanctioned noble mutant whose genes allow them to safely guide a warp-capable void ship through the warp. And warp, an alternate dimension of pure energy and madness existing as a mirror to real space, also known as the Immaterium, the Empyrean, the Aether, the Sea of Souls, or warp space. Okay. Alright, navigator, translation. What are these things you speak of? An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew. Where is your ship headed? What are my current responsibilities? Gracious Lord Captain, surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir. I have no more questions. I'm going to skip the first question entirely because I'm going to assume that my character already knows this stuff. And frankly, I'm fairly certain that I already understand due to context clues. So let's tell her about the incident.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Possessed? No, wait, possessed? By what?
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Abelard. Oh, nothing ever good comes from a person named Abelard. Gray-haired officer gives the rogue trader a look of cautious disapproval.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
Cogitators. Any type of digital computer in the Imperium of Man. Okay, okay. Where is your ship headed? What are my current responsibilities? Surely I can prove myself a worthy heir! Or no more questions. Where are we headed?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers, and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor.
I would love to make that my life goal? Question mark?
I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
Theodora grimaces. She gives you a stern look, then shrugs. She's being remarkably open with me. I think question 4 can easily lead into question 3, so I'm going to ask them in that order. Surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir.
You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusions when an opportunity to prove yourself arises. As for when you will be granted that opportunity, only the God Emperor knows.
I mean, I'm the main character, so I'm expecting it to arrive face first any minute now. What are my current responsibilities, then?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
Okay, I know how to be a PA. I don't like it, but I know. I have no more questions, then.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Theodora's Vox awakens once more. This time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain freezes, listening to the Voxcast, then nods and draws her weapon. Okay. I do believe this looks like a rebellion.
To arms!
Initiative. All combatants act in turns, and their order is determined by an initiative roll. The order of turns is displayed on the left side of the screen from bottom to top. The character at the very bottom goes first, and no one above them, and so on. Okay. So, Theodora goes first, then Abelard, then whoever Mort is, 3 of the enemies, then me, then a bunch more of the enemies, before coming around to Theodora again. Alright. I do not like this. We are already surrounded.
Look out!
wee.
Break their morale. For the glory of the Imperium.
Oh, they're strong.
Just a minor setback.
Serve the ruinous powers!
Ruinous powers. Oh, heretics! Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that a character can hide behind are marked with a shield or a shield with a skull. When standing close to them, the character will automatically take up an advantageous position. In this case, the chance that enemy attacks will hit the cover and not the character behind them increases. The character will not receive a bonus if attacked from a side not protected by their current cover. Okay. Alright, I've already learned that I can't move after taking my turn. So I should take cover. Hi, Theodora. And then... who's in range? That one's in range. That... what is... exploit? They already have an exploit on them. Is that just because I'm here? I don't understand, but basically I can shoot at any of these three. I'd say this one is probably the greatest danger to me personally. Yeah, this one and this one get to go before I get to go again. This one... where is this one? I think this one already went. Let's go for the nearest one. So, analyze him. And then take the shot.
I'll see to it personally.
Dang, I'm good.
Out of my way! Oh. Chaos guides me.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Okay.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Theodora is quite effective, my
Reduced
goodness.
to dust. My faith.
So is Abelard, oh my.
To the heretics.
Oh, okay. Positive effect. Your character received a temporary positive effect from an ally. Such effects enhance your character's capabilities in combat in some way. To learn more about the effect you have gained, hover your cursor over the effects icon next to the character portrait. There we go. Kill them! Source Theodora, duration, permanent, plus 50 ballistic skill until the end of combat. Nice! Got it. All combatants act in turns, and their order is determined by... didn't I say got that on that one? There's only one dude left. We are awesome! Alright, so... analyze the heck out of him. And then shoot them in the face. Did I think I missed. He also missed. Okay. This one's
My
tougher
place is
than
at
the
the fort.
others.
Stay vigilant.
You know, I agree with Theodora. This is a better place to be. Okay, analyze them.
I'll make it happen.
Okay, I have a 95% chance of hitting him.
Your end was inevitable.
Did I distinguish myself, Auntie?
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive.
All right, thanks, Theodora.
Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
She looks at the Vox in her hand. All you can hear is lifeless static. Okay, what is happening? What are your orders? What is happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
The Seneschal is astonishingly calm for someone who just survived a sudden attack. Okay.
The casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer Prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
Uh-huh. Alright, engine seer. A tech priest whose specialization is the maintenance and repair of sacred machines, such as this ship. How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who would dare to attack the Lord Captain? The incident with the rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now. What is your orders? You know what? The rampaging servitors may be connected to this.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
Theodora winces and flicks the switch on her Vox a few times. Alright. What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Hup, 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 hup. Okay, concerned about the disrupted communication with the Navigator's Sanctum, we should have already approached the translation point and proceeded to real space. I'm pausing, because time keeps passing and this seems important. Okay, let's see here. The officer's deck is under attack by an unknown enemy, so Arch-Militant Mort has left to clear the way to a lift leading to the upper decks. The officer has not returned yet, so it's time to find out the cause of the delay. If I find him dead... If I were a lift... Where would I be? I'm gonna try here just because it's closest. I think. Because this looks like a lift, doesn't it? I guess not. Once we are done with the ride, I want to have a look at the Lodge Guard's reports. We need to understand what happened on the decks during the warp jump and in the preparations preceding it.
I always keep my options open.
Let's try this way. Okay, I can't go that way because they've lifted the lift. Okay. Same there.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Keep firing, you oafs. No cowering and no hiding. You see the traitor, you kill the traitor. The heretic's body is riddled with holes. An improvised single-shot gun lies smoking in his hands. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's useful information. I think I went the right way.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mean but not inaccurate.
Mort, hold yourself together.
Conrad pointedly looks away from the arch-militant to you. Don't make me look bad in front of the new blood!
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Arch-militant looks back at you. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports on the situation. I thought comms were down.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
Okay, Voxnet? A piece of technology used to communicate over short distances. Okay, it's the same as Vox. Alright.
I have not yet received word from the Engineering regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only Voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Oh, that's what every captain wants to hear, I'm sure. Isn't it your job to know about organized mutinies while they're still being organized? Mutiny? But who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? A mutiny against the Emperor's anointed. Execute the traitors, every last one of them. We must provide immediate assistance to those still on the middle decks. Perhaps we might stop this wave from spreading. Or if this is indeed a severe case of warp madness, then the situation is dire. Now this is a tricky one. But who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp?
Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure.
And I have the means to do both things at once.
Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Ooh.
Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
Oh, he's a psyker. Okay. That doesn't tell me a lot, except that they're basically the equivalent of magic users for the 40K universe, as far as I understand.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on transitional deck 18.
Okay, that tells me nothing.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
Theodora glances at you thoughtfully.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psychic powers.
He's trying to get me shot. Again!
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
I will try not to die. Wait, that's Thursday. In whatever state, what does that mean? I hear and obey, Lord Captain. I shall do everything in my power. Or, I cannot promise that I won't lose our dearest heir somewhere along the way, thereby reducing the number of heirs I have to stand out against. What do you mean in whatever state?
We are in the warp. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Geller field and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the decks. Psychers can react to such things in the most unpredictable ways.
Ah, I see.
Enough! Master of Whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish under Enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Edelthrad back to me.
Okay. I shall do everything in my power.
Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. Mort, come.
She really does favor Edelthrad. Admittedly, she only just met me today, but, you know, that stings a little. Me and a spy master against the world.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
Excuse. I shall make do, lead the way. I have a proposition. Since I am the more important person here, you can go in the front to shield me from potential threats. Or you had better not fail me. The Lord Captain made it clear that relying on you is fraught with risk. I don't know that I want to particularly choose sides at this point, since I don't actually know what the sides are. I will make do. Lead on, Macduff.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Excuse? He's rummaging in his pocket for something. Am I about to be betrayed? Something hits you hard with a sharp crackle, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. Ah! Oh, I wonder who organized this rebellion. I do wonder, like, how this mutiny got organized underneath the Spy Master's nose. Oh, how, what a question. I will look forward to stabbing him in the face later. So we can assume that Ethelthred is dead, right? Betrayal, betrayed. Oh, thanks so much for the kick.
Careful. Be gentle with our guest. She has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber, and for that, I need her breathing.
Oh, I see.
You're back with us, I see. Delightful.
And what if I refuse to help you? You need me alive. The sacred relic document that affirms the preeminent rights of a rogue trader. He's going to steal it. What is the meaning of this? Or, Voitvir, you two-faced scum, you are the one behind this mayhem. You two-faced scum! Allow me to remove one of them.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself.
Buddy boy!
We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber. This void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred warrant of trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Oh, you failed Theodora big time. Oh boy. You seemed smarter than that. Why are you doing this? What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? I have no intention of helping you. I will help you as long as you spare my life. Will you let me join you? We can take the warrant from Theodora together. No. No, this is a lot like someone who is a cheater in a relationship. Once a person has cheated on one partner, the likelihood is much greater that they will cheat on the next partner and the next and the next, especially if they like cheat on the one partner, go to the person that they cheated with, then they'll cheat on that person to go to the next one, and chain and chain and chain. He is betrayed. A betrayer will betray again. That is it. There is no partnership. There is no we're in this together. He has betrayed. He will betray again. But, you know, maybe he likes to monologue as much as I do. Why are you doing this?
Why? Because I am following an order. What is happening on this ship right now has been in the making for a very long time. All that remains is to obtain what my masters sent me for. The warrant of trade.
Oh, he doesn't actually have the blood at all. Oh dear. Oh. I mean, I am tempted to go with the top one because I would prefer that he be pissed off at me, because the angrier a person is, the less logical they tend to think, which gives me an advantage. But considering how many people with guns there are surrounding me, Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all,
Oh.
Isn't that what family is for?
Coercion succeeded. What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your appetites, you sordid, wretched piece of grok shit? I love it. I must use it. Does it tell me? No, it doesn't actually tell me what coercion does in this game. Oh well.
Wretched. What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
Now, you see, there's the crux of the matter. It's not loyalty to Theodora. It's the fact that in the Empire, you worship the god Emperor, or you're a heretic, and heretics die. So the fact that he is saying very, very heretical things, it doesn't even matter what my loyalty to Theodora is. It's all about whatever my loyalty, front or otherwise, is to the god Emperor. That much I know about this universe. Let's see. Something, either your tone or the venomous words, throws Conrad off for a moment as hateful fury blazes beneath the mask of a cold professional. I don't know about wretched, but I do know a heretic when it's staring me in the face, saying heretical things.
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
Voigtveer hesitates for a second and then produces a strange weapon, a blade without a handle that shimmers blue in the light. Fuzzy Boots, hello! Welcome back! How far in are you in this game? I have started it tonight. This is as far as I've gotten. I'm on the ship. I've been informed that after much research, it's been found out that I'm a possible heir for the rogue trader. There's been a mutiny that Conrad here organized, and now he's trying to get me to steal her writ, because this is like a Corsair system, and she can't be a rogue trader without the warrant. I don't want to help him, and I've just been trying to make him angry, and that's where we are. The blade flashes in the dim light, and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Fight the voice in your head. Get out. I am not your puppet. I will do as you require, but I will find a way to make you pay for this, you filth. Or enough threats. I will comply with your demands. No, I am not your puppet. I'm nobody's puppet. I would like to be the heir because that means I get to puppet other people. Get out. Out of my head. Beyond. I am stronger than you. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step towards the gates looming in the center of the chamber. Damn it! Can I at least roll for this? You were wounded by the corrupted weapon, which led to a warp entity invading your mind. Oh, great! I've got voices in my head now. Spectacular! In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Okay, skill tests and dialogues. One of the available dialogue options requires making a skill test. Unlike with passive tests, which are made automatically, in this case you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequences of which will depend on the result of the associated test. Success or failure affects how the dialogue develops. Depending on the context, you might change the course of the conversation, alter the character's attitude, or perform an action whose consequences will only become apparent later. Hover your cursor over the dialogue option that requires a skill test and you will see a tooltip detailing your chances of success. The number after the skill's name indicates the difficulty of the test. Once your character starts traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill will be selected for each test. Okay. Alright, tech use 100%, examine the device. Look back. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. 100% difficulty or 100% chance of success. I don't. The tutorial was not entirely clear. Examine that device. Tech use test succeeded. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as a material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. An incredibly rare and powerful piece of technology from humanity's ancient past. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voitvir wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Whisper? Decision consequences. Yeah. Okay. Examine the sentinel. Place your hand into the sentinel's maw. Look back. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. Examine the sentinel. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service lives of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. I really don't want to do this. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and is in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight. Look back?
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Nothing. I've got nothing. Railroads are coming. I'm standing on the crossing. Oh man, there is nothing that I can do except place my hand in its maw. I hate that. Ugh. The Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Who is this? Yes, I do require assistance. I suppose this is the onset of the warp madness they warned me about, or I must have lost my mind. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way.
I'm not sure that going into the chamber is actually the right idea here. But that does appear to be the only way to go. Oh man, they disarmed me. That annoys me so much. You know, I haven't saved this entire time. Maybe I should do that. Can I, like, name these? I can! Alright. I'm gonna call this Foxwine in Space. That seems appropriate. That seems very appropriate. Alright. Foxwine in space! Space. The enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and look impregnable. I like the crest. We have a good crest. Like, we got a skull, and we got the little warrant on here, and a little navigation thing. This is actually a very informative crest. That is a good crest. That is properly done. Woo, that is bigger than I thought it would be. Oh boy. How was he planning on seizing this? The warrant chamber has opened its doors for the dynasty heir. It is time to make sure the sacred warrant of trade is safe. How? How are they planning on stealing this thing? Let it be known that by my will and true words of this document I appoint this person to be bearer of warrant of trade and bestow upon them and their dynasty this mission, to be the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns, through pain to greatness. Seems to be a lot more legalese.
The child of the house to safety.
The servo skull's creaking gradually turns into comprehensible words. The child of the house. I will cautiously allow you to refer to me that way. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me? I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora. I need a weapon. I am utterly defenseless. I need a weapon.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
The servo skull goes silent, its relays clicking. Second after second passes, and you realize that the servo skull will not answer you. I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Wahaha!
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
In place of the mechanical screeching, the servo skull's box projects the voice of Theodora von Valencius, distorted and ridden with static, yet still recognizable beyond a doubt.
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Great! What madness is happening here? Who are you, and who are you is addressing me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Oh! Oh, it's nice that he's got a drone. I don't know what obnubilation actually means, and my dictionary is across the room, so we're just gonna glide right past that one. Sure. Are you the Warren Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
That is the exact same thing that you said before. Okay. Lead me away.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Alright. As the game's story unfolds, you will see notifications at the top of the screen indicating that the status of your current objective has been updated and that new information has been added to your journal. Yes, I've been seeing that all the way along. Why are you telling me about it now? You can open the journal by pressing J or clicking on the notification at the top of the screen. Journal entries help you keep track of current events and guide your character on their journey. The Quests tab tracks the progress of the main story. Here you can find information about any quests you have accepted and their current status. Use the journal to help yourself understand where to go on the next steps of your adventure. Okay, so what it wants me to do is it wants me to open the journal. No one must reach the warrant. A simple order to the Sentinel Cogitator will lock the chamber. Preferably with me outside of it. Seal the warrant chamber. Oh, goody. Heretics.
Run, fools, or fall!
Oh. Hello, Chainsaw Sword. Albus!
Mistress?
Oh, sorry, Abelard.
What? Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
Let's see. Seneschal Abelard Wersarian has lost some of his former polish. His forehead is sweating, and one of the sleeves of his coat is torn and soaked through with blood. Nevertheless, despite his heavy breathing, he stands firm, and his gaze is demanding, albeit somewhat surprised. He surveys the carnage around him. His brow furrows, and he places a hand on his weapon. Conrad Voigtvier is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here. Or, how did you find me? Are you with that traitor Voigtvier? You know what? Straight up front. Conrad is a traitor.
What?
The Seneschal's eyes widen. He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of that plan. He is clearly serving the unholy gods of the warp. No, that's heretic talk. That's gonna get me Chainsaw Sword to the face. He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Mistress, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Yes, yes. Abelard clutches his forehead. He looks lost for the briefest of moments, then quickly finds his resolve again. Voigtvier openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny to me. Unquestionably. Why don't we leave matters of etiquette for another time? So it would seem, but he is not here, and we have a mutiny to end. Or, for a mere seneschal, you are asking too many questions. You know what? He openly admitted to me that he was the mastermind.
Saints' blood! Then it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Mistress. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster.
You know, if they're gonna keep calling me Mistress all game, I'm gonna start getting ideas. Leathery ideas. Anyway.
You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Abelard examines you critically, then he hands me a weapon! Items received. Sniper rifle, armored body glove, medikit. Sniper rifle? My backline just became the far backline. Okay, treating injuries. While fighting, your character can lose some of their wounds. Your character has suffered an injury after being attacked by Kunrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within one round. The exact percentage of wounds a character must lose for this to happen may vary depending on the difficulty of the game you choose. Injuries reduce the character's resolve. It's a lot of words. Wounds. Wounds are a measurement of how much punishment a character can take before suffering debilitating effects and ultimately death. Okay, that's what they're calling hit points. Every character has a specified number of wounds. A character can also increase their wounds by spending experience points and improving their characteristics such as toughness or gaining new talents and abilities. Okay, so if you receive damage that exceeds 50% of your HP, you can get an injury. That's a long one. Okay. After falling into a trap or suffering damage that exceeds 50% of their total wounds within one round, a character will receive a fresh injury. The exact percentage, blah blah blah, is that injuries reduce a character's resolve. If the fresh injury is not healed within 3 rounds using a medikit, it will turn into an old injury. You can also get rid of the old injury with a medikit, however healing will require an additional medikit skill test. All injuries reduce a character's parameters, and if 3 or more injuries accumulate, they turn into traumas. The number of injuries that cause trauma may vary depending on the difficulty of game. Trauma. If a character who has received 3 or more injuries does not heal them in time with a medikit, the injuries will become traumas. Traumas reduce a character's resolve and also inflict an additional negative effect, which depends on the specific of a particular trauma. Traumas can only be removed and fully healed in the Rogue Trader's private quarters on the Void ship. Okay then. Resolve. Resolve influences how efficiently and for how long characters can fight in the battle. It determines the amount of momentum gained at the beginning of each turn or after killing an enemy. Alright. I read that about the injury already. Note that when a character loses all of their wounds, they fall unconscious. Your character has lost consciousness, their wounds have been reduced to 0. The character can no longer participate in combat, nor can they be resuscitated by any means. They will regain consciousness after the battle and receive a trauma, which can then be healed by resting on the ship or in certain other places suitable for rest. Okay. Once the combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries they may have sustained remain. These can be healed with a medikit. Medikits can only be used by characters who have the Field Medic feature, base skill Medicae, or have taken Medicae skill advancement at least once. Whenever a character uses a medikit in battle, a Medicae skill test determines the number of wounds that will be restored as a result. Abelard can heal your character's injury. Click on Abelard's portrait, select the medikit on the panel at the bottom left of the screen, then use it on your character. Abelard needs to be standing right next to your character for him to administer the treatment. Okay. Click on Abelard's portrait, select the medikit, and then use it on my character. You've gotten new items. All items are added to your inventory. You can open it by pressing I or clicking on the bag icon at the right side of the screen. On the inventory screen, weapons, armor, and other items can be equipped or interacted with in other ways. Medikits can be used to replenish wounds and can heal injuries. Click on Abelard's portrait.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
Click on the medikit. Click on me.
This wound will make a fine scar.
This wound will make a... I like him already. I have weird feelings about people named Abelard, but this one seems to be alright.
I know how to take risks.
The servitor is really talking up a storm. Okay, what do we got here? The weapon offered by Essential Abelard Worst should be kept at the... Okay, Inventory? Whee! To equip new weapons or armor, open your inventory from I and double-click on the item. Alternatively, you can hold and drag the item to the right slot. It will become highlighted once you start dragging an item. To view the parameters of an item, hover your cursor over its icon and wait for the information window to appear. Another way to view details about an item is to click on its right-click on its icon, then select Info. Alright. You can switch between party members using the arrows on the top of the inventory screen or clicking on a character's portrait. Item descriptions contain comparisons with any corresponding items already equipped by the character. Alright. Okay, so sniper rifle is a two-handed ranged weapon. 12 to 16 damage, 15% armor penetration. I'm assuming these are all good things. Okay, single shot for 1 AP, Deadeye shot for 2 AP. Solid projectile weapons have an increased plus 50% over penetration. Sniper rifles deal plus 50% critical damage. We like it, the sniper. Okay, so equip that sucker. Oh, it looks good on me. And what is this? Armored body glove. Armor 15%. The character wearing this armor will dodge 35% of average enemy attacks in this chapter. This armor reduces the incoming damage of average enemy attacks in this chapter by minus 10%. Okay. We will also equip the armor.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
Why, thank you. I love your breastplate, by the way.
The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on.
No intel! Yay! What everybody loves to hear.
But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
This makes very good sense. What are the possible responses that we have going on here? What exactly has gone wrong with the translation? How did you find me? What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum? I heard one of Theodore's voxcasts. The Navigator's Sanctum, very well. Will you lead the way? Or for the Imperium and humanity, lead the way, Seneschal. How did you find me?
You sent me a vox message. Specifically, a voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
Abelard tilts his head and looks at you with worry. I have a feeling that we have this guy over here to thank for that one. I think the Warren Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber. What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum? I think the Warren Sentinel may have sent that message.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort.
I doubt that she was under as much stress as I was when that happened. I love how these corpses are still burning, by the way. He looks at the servo skull floating next to you. I have a servo skull of my very own.
The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
He frowns. I have certain theories, but yeah, nothing concrete. But the very first thing that it was is that, like, you know, elevated levels of such and such chemical detected, you know, high stress. Do you really require assistance? And I was like, yes, I do. And, you know, that happened. So it's possible that using my tech to examine things is what precipitated this, but I cannot argue with the results, to be honest. What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Abelard does not bat an eye as he lists all the horrors that you are about to face. This has opened up. I am under no obligation to take such risks. What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the Navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak.
Uh-oh.
If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
I agree. That sounds terrible. I heard one of Theodora's voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
Okay. The Navigator's Sanctum, very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
Ah! Oh! I may have to put a headphone warning on this game if that's going to keep up. A wave of static suddenly erupts from the servo skull, and you can make out Theodora's words through the noise.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Ah... It's good to have the fanatic on my side for once. The Seneschal's eyes light up and he smiles with grim determination.
You'll make us venerate the dark gods!
Oh, are you kidding me? Combat begins with the tactical phase, during which characters cannot attack or take other actions, but may try to take up advantageous positions. Select a character by clicking on their portrait at the top of the screen. Then click on the cell you want the character to move to. Red cells are areas inaccessible to the character. During the tactical phase, each character in the party may move up to their maximum movement points, but cannot position themselves adjacent to an enemy. Press space to start the battle. Okay, hi. What do you do, man? You're melee, aren't you? But you get to go last. Oh, dear. Melee, 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 melee. I would like for them to waste their turn coming for... So... I think I want Abelard right here. And I want the high ground. We like the high ground. I don't know if high ground actually makes a difference in this game. I guess we're all about to find out.
Death to the weak.
These corpses are still on fire. That's very impressive.
Death to non-believers.
The combat abilities of characters differ depending on their archetype. Available abilities are located at the bottom right of the screen on the abilities panel. To read the full description of the ability, hover your cursor over its icon or right-click on it. Click on the icon to use the ability. Before the ability is used, you will get to review its estimated outcome while hovering your cursor over a character or an area of your choosing. You will also see the ability's area of effect, and each character in this area will have a number displayed over them, denoting the probability of being successfully affected. If the ability's effect is guaranteed to work, the ability's icon is displayed instead of a number. When you are ready to use the ability, click again to confirm your choice. During your adventures, your characters will gain new abilities and talents as their power grows. You can view the full list of available abilities and talents on the Features tab in the Character menu. Okay. This Deadeye shot does 12 to 16 damage with 15% armor penetration and has a 30 cell radius. Hit chance, effective distance 95%, max distance 47%. Precisely aimed shot with a plus 50% bonus to the effective range of a weapon and a plus 10% hit chance. I see absolutely no reason to move, to be honest. Okay, so that takes 2 AP. And this takes 1. And I have 4, so that's perfect. I have a surfeit of targets to choose from. But I think the ones that are closer to Abelard are going to be the better choice. So... Heretic Cutthroat, I choose you! Oh, I see. It's piercing. Pity none of you are standing in front of each other. 95% chance of hitting, huh? Who's a good sniper rifle? Who's a good sniper rifle? You're a good sniper rifle.
Chaos guides me.
I am your doom.
Oh, that one has a gun. Oh, I should have shot that one. Abelard's abilities. Your new companion is a warrior. Abelard specializes in melee combat and drawing the enemy's attacks. Charge is a unique warrior ability that works only when they are using a melee weapon and is not considered an attack action. Use Charge to close the distance between you and an enemy and deal damage. Click on the ability's icon and choose a direction to charge in. If an enemy is in the direct path of charge, Abelard will attack them and will still be able to use an attack action afterwards if he has not used one this turn. Note that charge can only be used if the character is 2 or more cells away from their target. This character is using a melee weapon. Melee attacks do require the character to be adjacent to the enemy. To make a melee attack, click on the strike ability, then on the enemy you wish to attack. Unlike single shots, melee attacks hit automatically with no need for a roll. The enemy will try to dodge and parry the attack if they are using a melee weapon of their own. Melee weapons can be used to make area attacks. All creatures in the area will suffer damage unless they succeed on a dodge test or a parry test if they are armed with a melee weapon. Damage dealt by melee weapons depends on the weapon's parameters and the attacker's strength score. Okay, so Abelard can charge. That will use up his movement, though. That is the main problem. So let's try it this way. Characters with melee weapons can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent in an adjacent cell initiates movement. It can also be triggered by some abilities. All characters with melee weapons, including members of your party, can make attacks of opportunity. The chance to hit and deal damage is calculated just like a normal attack. Yeah, and he doesn't have any movement now, which means I should have charged to here. Unfortunate. Okay, well, I've learned some things. Brace for impact. The Navy officer grants the brace effect to each ally, including themselves, in a 5-cell radius. This effect lasts for 1 round. Navy officer gains +1 charge of this ability at the start of combat when their wounds drop below 50% for the first time in combat, and each time an ally falls unconscious for the first time. Braced. What is the braced effect? Character gains +2 deflection for each archetype chosen by the Navy officer. Also, the character gains immunity to forced movement effects and cannot be over-penetrated. Okay. Well, he's probably going to be taking it to the chest a few times. Let's give him the braced effect.
Indeed.
All right.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Parried. Excellent. Parried.
Out of my way.
Hit for nothing. Okay, this one with the gun needs to go. Be careful, companions can get hurt by your burst attacks or area attacks. To avoid friendly fire, keep an eye on the trajectory of the shots in the area of effects of attacks and melee burst attacks. Okay. So... if I were to use Deadeye Shot... like, one thing that occurs to me is that these two are in a line with each other. Okay, well, I'm going to analyze you. Okay. So I would have a 95% chance of hitting this guy up front, but only a 45% chance of hitting the gunner, who is the one that I actually want. Sorry, Abelard, I really need this gunner to be gone. This gunner got go. Okay, there we go. Boy. So if this could be spectacular.
I will do my duty.
Okay, the one your character has just missed. To increase hit chance, equip your character with a decent weapon and place them on a vantage point. Okay, so being up the stairs is helpful to me in some way, I think. Abilities and talents that improve the weapon skill characteristic will help you hit more often in close combat. For improved marksmanship, learn talents that increase the perception and ballistic skill characteristics. Okay. Can I... oh, he has to be at least 2 cells away. Okay, alright. Okay, so I analyze
I'll see to it personally.
Yeah, you dumb and analyze. You've got 6 stacks now. And then we Deadeye you?
You never stood a chance.
My perception is very high. The order in which actions are taken in combat matters. Your character can only move around the battlefield before they take an attack action. Once a character attacks, they lose their remaining movement points, unable to move until the start of the next turn. There's a way around this, however, if, for example, the character has some way of gaining movement points after attacking. Yes, I'd already noticed that. You could have told me this when I was doing my first combat, you know, when it would have made sense to tell me these things. Abelard, hit that heretic.
At your beck and call.
Oh. Misfortune. Well, that's just rude. I'm going to analyze you just in case. Oh, you are well analyzed now. 7 stacks! Please, take one of these to the head. Oh, just drops. Just drops where he stands. Okay. You can advance the level of your character and companions. Prevailing in battles, exploring the Coronis Expanse, and completing quests earns you experience points. Once you've accumulated enough experience, your character gains a new level. Click on the arrow symbols on a character's portrait to open up the level up screen. Each level gained offers your character new progression options which include new abilities, talents, skill improvements, and other enhancements. Your companions gain new levels at the same time as your character. Even if they are not included in the active party during your journeys, you can always increase their level later. Yeah! Okay, just in case, we gonna do a quick save. A little pause, and let's figure out this level up thing. One rank in operative available. Okay, so... okay. So... I have the Analyze, which has indeed been working really well with my clever plan. And... at this archetype rank, it's possible to increase characters' skills. The higher skill score, the easier it will be to pass corresponding skill tests. That's all very well and good, but I don't... Choose skill. My logic is already super high. It's recommending logic or tech use. But I could also take awareness, lore... Okay, so my logic is already super high. It is the highest thing I've got. Makes a character's rational arguments more convincing. Blah, blah, blah. Tech use. Skill is affected by intelligence, represents a character's ability to use or repair complex mechanical items. A high tech use value enables a character to even be able to fathom the workings of unknown technical artifacts. It can also be used to open doors or containers and hack cogitators. Awareness. Skill affected by the perception characteristic. It encompasses the subconscious ability to react to things that the conscious mind may not perceive. Awareness allows a character to notice traps, carefully hidden objects, secret passages, and unusual or suspicious elements in the environment. That's tempting. I want the lore... Lore Imperium. Skill affected by the intelligence characteristic. Reflects a character's understanding of the Imperium's tenets, history, and structure. May give access to new dialogue option. Lore Xenos. Represents knowledge of the alien species known to the Imperium, the threat they pose, and their general appearance. May give access to new dialogue options. Also can be used to disable traps of Xeno origin. And Medicae. Skill is affected by the intelligence characteristic. It is essential to detect and cure injuries that characters suffer in combat. It also increases the number of wounds restored by medikits and allows the use of higher quality medikits. A high Medicae value also assists in healing old injuries before they would turn into trauma. I'm very tempted by the awareness. I know it's recommending the tech use. I don't think I need to put more points into logic right now because my logic is already 10 points higher than everything else I have. But I could bring either my tech use or my awareness up to match my logic. I know it's recommending tech use, but I'm gonna take awareness. I think that's the way to go. Yay, I made it to level 2 in the first stream. Okay, and Abelard here. Athletics. Represents character's ability to traverse difficult terrain. He has 50. We can add another 10 to bring it to 60. Carouse he has at 60. Oh boy. Coercion is at 30. Demolition is at 30. Medicae is at 30. I think that athletics, the representing a character's ability to traverse difficult terrain, to leap over collapsed sections or climb over slippery rocks, I think since his carouse is already 60, that athletics is the way to go here. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. Reach the Navigator's Sanctum. The Navigator's untimely demise would spell disaster for the Void Ship when making a warp jump. Whatever is happening on the other decks, it is imperative to reach the Navigator's Sanctum to see what has happened to the vessel's warp guide. Now, the thing here is that it is midnight for me right now. So I think it might be a good idea to, like, save here. Oh, wait. I can loot? Can I loot? I want to loot. Collecting loot. Defeated enemies have no further need of their former belongings, but you can discover valuable trophies among them. Click on a defeated enemy to inspect what is left of them. Trophies on the right side of the trophy window to go to your inventory. Go to your inventory. Such items can be used or equipped by your characters. Trophies on the left are packed up as cargo and sent to your ship, which can later be used to trade with various factions. You can move trophies from one side of the window to the other by dragging them over using left click. Alternatively, you can use the buttons at the bottom to mass transfer all trophies to the cargo or inventory section of the trophy window and vice versa. Click Collect All or press space to transfer the trophies from both sides of the trophy window to the corresponding windows. I don't think I can send anything to cargo right now. Pistol, whole bunch of swords, medkit. I do not see why I would need all these swords. They're not as good as Abelard's chainsword. Can we to cargo? It looks like we can. So if I, like, keep one sword and the pistol just in case I need them, and, you know, the med kit, and send the rest of the swords to cargo. Okay, I think that's how it works.
I will lead us to fortune.
Oh, and it's a mass loot too. You don't have to go from body to body to body to body. I like that. The skull appears to be mine now, at least for the time
Let us
being.
not dawdle.
It appears to be following me. It talks a lot. Okay, so obviously the next step would be to go through this door here. Abelard, are you coming with? How do I move the party as a party?
Your seneschal is always there for you.
Is there like some way to force a party formation
Miscalculations
here?
are for commoners. I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning
Inventory,
experiences.
character, journal, map. Corpus Vele... No, I don't think that's it either. Void ship management, no. Cargo management, no. Formation! Uneditable formation. Okay. This is fine, but it's also not what's happening because I'm driving with my own character, not with Abelard. So if Abelard is the one to move... Nope, I do not fall in line behind him. Okay.
Fate and fortune favor the bold.
Wait, I think I've got it. I think I've got it. Yes! Okay.
Is there money to be made?
Okay, so, in order to keep me behind where my sniper rifle is most useful, I have to drive with Abelard. This is good to know. Hopefully future me will remember. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, we're gonna save. We're going to there we are. We're going to save over Foxwine in Space. We're going to treat this exactly the same as we did Baldur's Gate, where I'm going to have the one main save file. So Foxwine in Space is going to be the main save file. So rewrite existing save, yes. Decisions that I have made remain my decisions. Okay, so this is where I am going to be calling it a night. We will pick up again in Rogue Trader again next week. I am enjoying this, and my very shaky grasp on Warhammer lore so far has not come to kneecap me. So I have hope. Something resembling hope. Hey, no problem, Fuzzy Boots. It was nice having you here. So, as usual, for those who have missed streams or want to catch up on stuff, there is always my YouTube channel where I've archived things. I did finish Baldur's Gate 3 last week, which means that the entire of the Baldur's Gate trilogy is now up on my YouTube channel, ready to be consumed over many hours, especially Baldur's Gate 3. That one took me 90 sessions to get through. But, you know, it's all organized in playlists to make it really easy. And I will be back streaming again tomorrow night. Starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be playing Planet Zoo for Management Monday. I'll be continuing to work on my amphibian house and hopefully finishing that off. And then once that is finished, I will be turning my attention to the Gharial habitat that is practically right next door. And hopefully getting some Gharials installed before I move away from the lake for a little bit to work on other areas so that I can figure out where the staff buildings would go for the alligators. I cannot put in the alligators until I figure out where their staff buildings are going, so I will figure that out. That's the plan. So, I do have a sequence in mind. We'll see how much I can get done, as is the idea. Then on Tuesday night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I've still forgotten to put it back on the schedule, but starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday night, I will be playing Citizen Sleeper. I will be attempting to try and find the end of that game. I think I'm in the end game right now. I think I'm very close to the end of Citizen Sleeper at this point in time. I am attempting to help the refugee caravan refit their vehicles so that they can continue running from what they are refugees from, at the same time as preparing the station to fight off the thing that they're running away from. Am I being vague? Yes, I am. It's all very complicated, and if I tried to explain the whole thing, we would be here for another half an hour. So I will be trying to help as much as possible while also preparing my defenses. So those are my dual goals in Citizen Sleeper on Tuesday night. Then on Wednesday night at approximately 7:15 or so, once we get a game together, I'll be playing either 100% Orange Juice or Among Us or Scribble It with my friends, depending on how many people we have and which people we have. Will decide the game. It may even be a combination of the above, depending on whether or not people arrive late or leave early or any of that sort of thing. We have a formula to figure it out, so it goes much smoother in actuality than it does when coming out of my mouth. Then on Wednesday at somewhere between 10:15 or 10:30 or so, when my friends abandon me for this whole thing that they call sleeping, that is when I will be playing some Power Wash Simulator, because I play that once a month, and unfortunately I could not stream last Wednesday. I was not feeling well, so I did not stream last Wednesday. I will be streaming this Wednesday, and there will be some Power Wash Simulator, where I believe I am washing a mini golf course. So I'm going to be trying to get through as much of that as possible on Wednesday. Then on Thursday night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be playing Hades for Try Not to Die Thursday. I'll be continuing my campaign on that one, trying to gather as much nectar as I can get into my hot little hands, and also trying to get out of Elysium, mostly so that I can talk down on Theseus. That is what I want to do. But it would also be nice. I have only faced Hades himself twice. I would like to actually succeed in that fight. I have not yet, but I need to actually get to that fight. So multiple goals, all of them running in the same direction, which is very helpful. And then next Sunday night, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I shall return to Rogue Trader, where we're going to see the Navigator. Hopefully not literally, because that sounds like a form of radiation I do not wish to be exposed to, but we're going to try and figure out why the ship is, trying to shake itself apart. Excuse me. Where did that come from? Allergies. That's where it came from. So, that is the upcoming schedule for the week, all the games I'm going to be playing, and everything that I intend to do in those games, as detailed or as fuzzy as those plans may be. When you don't have spoilers, it's very difficult to make plans, but at least I have a quest, and the quest says go to the Navigator, so at least I know that much. So that's what I'm going to do. But whether or not I have any idea what I'm doing, or whether or not I know whether I've put my stats in the right place, I still have a lot of fun. And I've had so much fun tonight, and I hope that all of you have had at least as much fun as I have. And I hope that you all have a great night. Good night!